Counsel for Okorocha, former Imo State Governor Olanipekun San, and Counsel for the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) N.A. Dodo have disagreed over adherence to court order on the release of Okorocha's international passport. Olanipekun had submitted that EFCC was going against the judgment in suit FHC/ABJ/CS/45/2019, wherein the court ordered the EFCC to release the international passport and traveling documents of the defendant, among other decisions of the court. Following the refusal of the Commission to adhere to the judgment of court, Okorocha in suit number FHC/PH/FHR/165/2021 approached the same court for the protection of his human rights, which he argued was under threat. During resumption of proceedings yesterday at the Federal High Court sitting in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, following his application, Olanipekun told the court that on December 6, 2021, it entered a judgment in favor of Okorocha, but that instead of EFCC to obey the appeal, it contravened it. Olanipekun further informed the court that despite its decision that EFCC refused to release the defendant's international passport and travel documents, saying today, it appears like no judgment was entered here. Bedodo denied that the EFCC contravened the judgment of court, adding that the commission had called Okorocha to pick his passport and traveling documents, but that he had not responded. He told the court that it only received the application from the applicant on Monday and asked for time to respond to the processes. However, the trial judge, Stephen D. Palm, expressed displeasure with EFCC's attitude on the matter, noting that he would not tolerate contempt of court. I take exception to disobedience. The EFCC should not do anything to the applicant until this matter is determined. It should obey the order, and if it is not okay with the judgment, the commission should go on appeal. Palm therefore ordered EFCC to stop further actions against Okorocha and adjourn hearing till February 14, 2022, warning that all parties should obey the orders of the courts. Situations like this is where Nigerians can boldly say that EFCC, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, is a tool in the hands of President Muhammadu Buhari. It's a tool to torment and torture those who are against them, because it's really surprising. The court has ruled, giving a decision that an action should be taken, and EFCC is still yet to take that action, and on top of it, they are now telling stories. Well, this one is more interesting because Rochas Okorocha is even part of the All Progressive Congress. If he was in another party, one would just conclude speedily that okay, it's a political war. But this one is the same party. Okorocha is yet to leave the All Progressive Congress. He's still with them. Although he has given hints, he has spoken about it one time that imagine what the name of the party would be if himself and Nyesom Wike come together to form a party. Nyesom Wike is of the People's Democratic Party. Well, we are familiar with what's been going on with Rochas Okorocha, former governor of Imo State, and the battle he's been facing. It looks like this battle has been between himself and the incumbent governor, Hope Uzodinma, through all of the seizure. They seized most of his properties, locked down a lot, even the Eastern Palm University, and the issue there, or the argument there, has been that those properties that Rochas Okorocha acquired them through the state funds while he was governor of the state. And Rochas Okorocha has continued to, he's always maintained that it was his funds he used in purchasing all of those properties. That, as a matter of fact, he was very wealthy before becoming a governor. That even becoming a governor made him poor. But this sort of case, they ought not to drag for too long, because we know that with politicians, before they assume any office and even after leaving the office, they declare their assets. So that would tell if what Rochas Okorocha is even saying is true. It's easy that way to validate all he's saying, that he was very wealthy before becoming a governor. They check all of that. They can know that okay, it's from that is worth that he purchased all of those properties. So they can even go that way. And if not, and even after becoming after leaving office, the other part of his story, the other part he's stating that it was after becoming governor that he became poor. So we'll know if his funds went down or they tripled, if he really looted the way Hope Uzodinma is claiming it. For the people of Imo State, they don't really care if both of them wants to fight themselves to the end. But all that matters to them is that uh, if any looting has taken place, then those funds should be returned, because if truly Rochas Okorocha looted, we should know that it's funds that are meant to develop the state, funds that are meant for the people, for the masses, that one person has taken. That is why this thing is very bad. This corruption we're facing in our country, it affects it's the masses it affects. And the painful part is that after all of these politicians have finished looting, money meant to construct roads, money meant for hospitals or for education, they loot it away, and these sectors suffer seriously. And you find out that if anything happens to them, if they are sick, immediately they've flown out of the country. They've gone for medical treatment overseas because they still have the money. But what happens to the masses? What happens to the masses? For even education, their children don't school in the country, they send them overseas. So when ASU are on strike, you see the strike here and there, a course that somebody's supposed to spend 4 years on, but because of strike here and there, the thing is extended to 6 years, even sometimes more, and it shouldn't be so. So that is why the case of corruption is really, really bad. So that is why the masses, they are saying, and even the people of Imo State are stating, that what matters the most is that this case should be looked into properly. If there's any looting anywhere, that those funds should be returned. So it's not, we should not just look at it from this angle that they are just fighting themselves, because Richard Okorocha has also said that it's Abuja that is using Hope Uzodinma to torture him. They are using Hope Uzodinma to torture him. Who is in Abuja? Well, what EFCC they are doing right now, they held the international passport of Rochas Okorocha, and the court ordered that that passport should be returned to him, and they should not take any action until they've given their final judgment, until they've decided, until the case has been decided. And the case was adjourned till February 14th, and it looks like EFCC, they are operating on their own. Most probably they will say this time they're operating um, with power from Abuja, because that is what happens. You give an order and they do another one. They go another way. EFCC, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, is controlled by President Muhammadu Buhari. That is how bad the system is. Well, guys, leave us your take. Thank you once again for staying tuned. Please don't forget to like, share, and to subscribe. Till I come your way again with more updates. Bye.